Hi, my name is ZaKaiRan, and welcome to another one of my outrageously amazing, insanely enlightening master keys of creation about how to create and attract the joy, well-being, and abundance that you desire, and how to be the unlimited master of creation that you truly are to literally make all your dreams come true. And you'll find tons more awesome, empowering videos, podcasts, articles, books, product support, and guidance at my website at ZaKaiRan.com to help you easily create and attract the happiness, health, wealth, and abundance, and the freedom, and a ton of fun that you desire. Alright, so here we go. Why most people struggle in life, and how to be happy, healthy, wealthy, and fulfilled with divine selfishness. Alright, so why do most people struggle in life, especially financially? Why does it seem that the average person just can't seem to get ahead of the game and the wolves are always growling at their door? And how can we get ahead in life and achieve the joy and freedom we desire and we deserve? Well, key factor number one is the average person was not trained to succeed at anything, especially money. We were certainly not trained how to be unique, creative individuals and how to be happy, healthy, wealthy, and free. Instead, we were all trained to be cogs in the wheel, to make other people more important than us, and to make other people's happiness and even wealth and success more important than our own. We were taught to be good little children, which then morphed into good little workers. We were taught how to be drones, not kings, and not how to be queens. As we grew up, we were taught to keep mom and dad happy or suffer their wrath. Then we were taught to study hard to keep our parents and teachers happy or suffer their wrath. And we were taught that if we studied hard and got good grades, we could get into a good school to study more, which would get us a good job as good little workers, as good little worker bees, as cogs in the wheel. And that would make us all happy, and we would all succeed in life. With our mortgages and our bills. But as every college graduate knows, it's a big, fat, fucking lie. If what they told us was true, that all you had to do was work hard and study hard and get good grades, you'd be successful and happy, well, we would all be rich and we'd all be happy. And we'd all have lots of free time to play and do whatever the fuck we wanted. But studying hard did nothing but please the teachers and the parents. But it never made us happy, except for the bookworms. We were never allowed to be children and play and have fun and find out stuff for ourselves. Instead, we were taught that this is how it is, and if you don't like it, tough tacos. This is my house, my rules. And then we were taught to work hard, and work hard some more. But we all soon found out that working hard just pleases the boss. Sometimes it doesn't even please the boss. But doesn't necessarily get us ahead at all. In fact, 90% of the time gets you bloody nowhere. You certainly don't get the appreciation that you deserve for your hard work and your commitment. You've made your parents happy, and the teachers happy, and the boss happy. But what about you? Did studying hard and memorizing endless, useless crap improve the quality of your life? Fuck no. And does working hard helping someone else achieve their dreams make you happy? And does it help you achieve your dreams? Sadly not. Most of us were taught that our mission in life is to make other people happy and to make God happy but not ourselves. Our own happiness isn't really that important. First, we're taught to be good little kids to keep our parents happy. Then we're taught to be good little lovers to keep our lovers happy. Then we're taught to be good little workers to keep our bosses happy, keep our teachers happy. But what about us? What about our happiness? Not once did anyone ask me at any of my job interviews about what I want. Not once did any of my early girlfriends say, "What do you want? What will make you happy?" No, everyone just tells you what you're supposed to do for them, to make them happy. And if you act selfishly and just please yourself, well, you're judged to be a selfish bastard, or to be a rogue, or to be a loner, or an outcast, etc. Rebel without a cause. But at the same time, as people judge these black sheep, well, they also admire these black sheep loners and rogues and gypsies because they're doing what pleases them, not everyone else, which is what everyone else really wants to do, and they're actually envious of those loners. They're envious of those black sheep. That's the classic cool guy. The cool guy doesn't give a shit about you. He just pleases himself, or she just pleases herself. And you want to be like that. So being a rogue, being a black sheep, kind of do well, basically, not even just doing that, but just pleasing yourself and doing what you want to do is what people really want to do every day. They say, "Stop being so selfish and please me," which of course is selfish, but they are in denial of the fact that they're being selfish by demanding that you do things that please them. Anyway, that's some fucked up psychology, because in normal society, everyone is a slave to someone else's selfishness. That's just the basic fact of the matter. Everyone is a slave, and everyone is a master with their own slaves. First, the parents are the masters, and the children are the slaves. And the parents are masters, and the slaves to each other. And the wife is a slave to the husband, husband's a wife, slave to the, and you're slave to the parents, and slave to each other, and slave to the family, and slave to their employees, their employers, etc. Then we become the slaves for our lovers and become the masters of our slave lovers. And some people exert more pressure upon others so that they are more of the master and less of a slave. But no matter how big of a master you are, you're always a slave to someone or something. You're a slave to the big boss, or you're a slave to God, or the slave of money, or the slave of power, or the god, or slave of the god of success. And there is no freedom in that classic matrix system. Even if you can get rich enough to be the one who stacks the deck and makes all the rules and controls the governments and the banks, etc., you're still a slave to that system. And you're a slave to the agreements you got to make and the deals you got to make with all these people to scratch their back so they'll scratch your back and they won't fucking shoot you. And your happiness and success relies on maintaining control of your empire and making everybody happy. And there's always someone who wants to steal your empire from you or bump you off. So where can a person actually, realistically, find true joy and true freedom without having to be a despotic ruler, drug lord, controlling their own empire? Well, step one, stop looking for joy and freedom from other humans. Because you're looking for love and freedom in all the wrong places where no love and no freedom actually exists. Because the conditional love and the conditional, freedom and approval that people dish out if you please them, but deny if you don't please them, is not the love you are really looking for. You're really looking for unconditional love, which you'll never find from other humans because they only know conditional love. They only know giving love when you meet their conditions. And stop looking for freedom from other people because they can't give it to you. And stop looking to other people as your source of joy and happiness by what they can do for you that will make you happy, because they can't give it to you. They can do things that influence your happiness, but no one can make you happy but you. People can do things that may, influence your freedom. If they're in alignment with the vibration of freedom, you may work together, you may help each other achieve freedom, but no one can help you actually achieve freedom. No one can assert anything upon you. There's only attraction. Again, you're looking for love, joy, well-being, and abundance in all the wrong places from too many faces. Looking for love, joy, well-being, and abundance in all the wrong places. Looking for joy, love, and well-being, and abundance from too many faces. And none of them can give you any of those things. So you're wasting your valuable creative energy. The love, joy, well-being, and abundance that you desire can only come from you and your own self. That's right, baby. Which brings us to success key number 2, which is get selfish. Everybody is working so hard in life to keep everyone else happy. But that is an impossible task, because only each individual person can make themselves happy. You can influence their happiness with your loving actions, but it's their choice to be happy or unhappy based on the influence of your loving actions. There's the classic example of when you love and adore somebody and they completely reject your love and adoration. You don't even like it, don't even want it. So that's a case for you can't assert your love on anyone. So ultimately, everyone's joy and happiness is solely in their own control. People just erroneously believe that other people are in control of their joy because they use what other people do as their personal gauge to decide whether they're going to be happy or not. But that is a precarious and powerless way to live. That is living life as a reactor rather than as a proactor. Instead of consciously deciding how they're going to feel, most people just react to external conditions and let those external conditions determine if they will be happy or not. Again, that is a completely disempowered way to live. The most self-empowered way to live is to be completely and totally selfish, because that is actually the only way you can actually be happy. And that's the only way you can actually be in general. You can't be any other way than be selfish. That's why everyone's demands that you should please them, you should act this way and do that and don't do that to keep them happy, because that's why they all have those demands and you're supposed to make those agreements with them, because they're all selfish bastards and bitches. The whole planet is full of selfish bastards and bitches. And being selfish is how everyone actually should be. There's nothing wrong with it. Except that they're just going about it in a back-asswards way. They should be saying, I'm going to selfishly please myself instead of, I'm going to be selfish and demand that you please me. So sort of like divine selfishness is, I'm going to please myself by just being happy. I'm not going to make any demands on you that you should make me happy. But of course, what people are really doing is they're being sort of codependently selfish. In other words, make me happy. Where people typically go wrong is not realizing that their selfish desire for happiness is no one else's responsibility but their own. So they almost have it right with their codependent, fucked up selfishness. They don't understand that no one outside of you can actually make you happy. Only you can make yourself happy. So how can you selfishly be happy and not be a prick who only thinks of himself and does what most selfish people do, which is to step on the backs of other people? Well, stepping on the back of other people, that's fake selfishness. That's exploiting other people so that you can be happy and prosperous doesn't work, because no one who is exploiting other people is actually truly happy and truly prosperous. They're really living in a lack-oriented way of thinking and just trying to get lots of stuff so that they can temporarily feel prosperous, but they don't actually feel prosperous at all. They may have lots of money, which buys them toys that temporarily makes them happy, but then they need another toy and another toy and another shiny thing and another, like a spoiled child who is never satisfied. But that is not true happiness. Their happiness is dependent. That's conditional happiness. When your happiness is dependent upon external conditions, always being how you want them to be. What everyone is really looking for is divine selfishness or unconditional selfishness, which has nothing to do with anybody else and what they are thinking, believing, or doing, or anything to do with external conditions and if there are pleasing conditions around you or not. That's the essence of unconditional living. You're not basing how you're going to feel based on external conditions. Unconditional selfishness means you're happy regardless of external conditions. And your happiness is not dependent upon what anybody else is doing. So you don't need to exploit anybody else to get what you want so that you can be happy and be abundant. And that includes there being no need to make deals and agreements and vows with anybody. That includes business people, corporations, or lovers, or parents, or children to act in pleasing ways for each other to ensure each other's happiness, which blows marriage vows out of the water. Boom! Your goal is to be happy no matter what your lover does or does not do. Your goal is to become an unconditional lover and unconditional liver, where the conditions of the world don't matter because these external conditions don't create your reality, and your happiness is not dependent on the world changing to suit your demands, and you don't have any control over the external conditions of the world anyway to make them change so that you can be happy anyway. And the same goes for finances. You're happy regardless of the financial conditions of the world and your own life, and you're happy regardless of the financial conditions of the people around you and whether you got enough money in the bank or not. People mistakenly believe that being selfish is when you don't care about others except what they can do for you, which is exactly how most people live their lives in society. They're just in complete denial of this fact. True, honest, divine selfishness, or as I like to call it, pure, unconditional selfishness, is where your number one focus is feeling good, which has nothing to do with anybody else, because no one else can feel for you, and no one else can create for you. And you don't need people to act in pleasing ways to make you happy. And divine selfishness or unconditional selfishness starts with your own thoughts. You ask yourself on a daily and even minute by minute basis, is that a good feeling thought to think? Nah. Then stop thinking that thought. Very simple. That's the focus of a divinely selfish person. Is that a good feeling thought? Yes, it feels good to think that thought. Then keep thinking that thought. That's divinely selfish thinking. Divine Selfishness 101 is think happy thoughts. That's it. Creation, and it's the same for creating whatever you want. Creation 101 is think happy thoughts. How to be happy, healthy, wealthy, and fulfilled 101 is think happy thoughts. That's all you need to know. That's Enlightenment 101 and 100. And Divine Selfishness 202, aka Creation 202, aka How to Be Happy, Healthy, Prosperous, and Fulfilled 202 is, as you're going through life and experience and watching life and society and witnessing what the other nutty people on planet Earth are doing, you ask yourself, Does that thing, that person, situation, condition, and those people's beliefs and actions and judgments and behavior, looking at them, paying attention to them, focusing upon them, does their activity and actions, etc., make me happy to think about them and to talk about them and look at what they're doing? If your answer is a resounding no, then stop looking at them. Stop thinking about them. Stop judging them. Stop deciding what they do, making what they do determine your reality, and to determine how you're going to feel. But if you're looking at what they're doing, at the good stuff that they're doing, at the fun stuff that they're doing, at the champion stuff that they're doing, at the helpful stuff that they're doing, the answer is yes. Well, then keep looking at them. Keep thinking about them. So that's a little bit more conditional living in nature, but because you're focused on feeling, that's unconditional, because feeling is unconditional in nature. And it's selective conditional living, and that's step 2 of Divine Selfishness, or Divine Selfishness 202, which is being a selective conditional looker based on how you're feeling. But again, that's also unconditional at the same time, because you're focused on feeling good, and feeling is unconditional. So when someone starts chitter-chattering about how bad the economy is and how businesses are failing and people are struggling and governments don't care and corporations just want to exploit us and take our money, and it's all one big ass conspiracy to keep us all in chains and the world is going to hell in a handbasket, well, ask yourself, does that feel good to have those thoughts and listen to those kind of news reports and pay attention to that kind of crap? Does it feel good? No. A resounding, emphatic niet. So, put your gears in reverse and get the fuck out of there, or completely distract that crappy conversation towards something completely frivolous and sweet and joyful, like a bird or a puppy. Get your attention and distract everybody else's attentions on something that's fun and nice and sweet. They'll go there easily, because everybody wants to think about good stuff. Divine Selfishness dictates you will do whatever it takes to feel good. I will do whatever it takes to feel good. I will think whatever it takes to feel good. I'll focus on whatever it takes to feel good. I'll focus on good things that feel good. So, again, Divine Selfishness dictates that you'll do whatever it takes to feel good, which really means that all you really need to do is to feel good is stop thinking about crap that doesn't feel good. Because your natural state of being as a divine soul is joy. It's only your stinking thinking and your addiction to focusing on bad feeling stuff that steals the joy away, so to speak. And when your number one focus is on feeling good, not only don't you use and abuse other people, you actually infectiously influence them to be happy too. By focusing on good feeling directions, people will naturally kind of follow your lead if you're focusing on fun, good stuff. And the best way that you can help anyone is by being completely selfishly happy and selfishly abundant and selfishly ecstatic and jazzed about life, where you alone are in charge of your happiness, and knowing that everyone else is the same. And everyone else has the power, the complete power, to be as happy as they want to be, regardless of what anyone else is doing on planet Earth. So that means minding your own business and paying no attention to what other people are doing, or what they've got, or what they're doing, with their money or what they're doing to other people and supposedly victimizing people, your happiness does not depend on what other people are doing. And in the same vein, your well-being and prosperity does not depend on what anybody else is doing, or what the economy is doing, or what the governments are doing, etc., etc. So pay no attention to what is being projected upon the screen, and let Toto pull back the curtain to see what's really going on. And what's really going on is everyone is desperately trying to be happy by changing, desperately trying to change all the conditions around them to somehow create happy conditions so that they can react to those happy conditions and be happy about it. But that's impossible. It doesn't work. And it's way too much work that doesn't work. Yeah, you can beat your head against the wall and run around like a headless chicken, making sure every condition of the world is a pleasing condition. And maybe you'll be successful at wrangling a few of those conditions, to be how you want them to be so that you can finally be happy. And maybe you'll be successful at coercing a few people to act in pleasing ways to keep you happy, because you're acting in pleasing ways to keep them happy, scratching each other's back. But it's a nonstop job trying to maintain your fragile empire of loyal subjects. And you'll never ever really be happy because there's way too many conditions to constantly have to bang into place. The only way you'll ever truly be happy is by getting happy regardless of conditions and focusing on the feeling, being unconditional in nature. When you focus upon your feelings, you're being unconditional in nature. And what's really going on behind the curtain is completely contrary to what they are telling you. First of all, nothing serious is really going on down here. Your immortality is not in question and is 100% a done deal already, and not dependent on your virtuous actions or beliefs. You are an eternal, immortal goddess. Your immortality is not in control of some vengeful, jealous, insecure God. Nothing anyone does down here on planet Earth is life and death, or heaven or hell, or good or bad, or better be good, or you're going to get judged, and just doesn't exist. You are not judged in any way by any force, any divine force, any God, in any way as good or bad. The only thing really going on down here is God's source. That's you. Who you truly are is God's source, expressing itself in an unlimited amount of unlimited ways, which includes expressing itself as you. And there certainly is no right way to think, believe, or act determined by some sort of, divine rule book or some sort of final judgment to see who got it right and who fucked up and got it wrong and get sent to eternal punishment and damnation. There's no right way for everyone. There's only the right way for each individual soul. There's no divine way or virtuous way or moral way, etc., to live or think or believe, etc., that is somehow determined by some outside, judgy, insecure force or God. There's no right spiritual way to live or believe. There's no who's naughty and who's nice list. There's no judge, no rule book, no commandments, no karmic police. It's just a big-ass free-for-all, and you can do whatever the fuck you want, and no one on any higher level, not any higher divine level, so to speak, gives a flying-ass fuck whether you're a sinner or a saint. whether you're Mother Teresa or Joseph Stalin, lover or a hater, a monk or a tyrant, no one cares because no one judges you. Whatever you think, believe, or do, it's your individual, unique, immortal life, and only you and your own source, which is who you truly are, is in charge and really cares what you do. And when you act like a saint, your source is right there with you. And when you act like a tyrannical dickhead, well, your source is right there with you too, but not in the way you think. Your source doesn't see your tyrannical dickheadiness. Your source only sees your divinity. Your source never ever looks at your faults, only sees your magnificence, because source knows that dickheadery, that's an official term now in the dictionary, source knows that dickheadery is just when you're off track a bit and sorting through the contrast of life and paying way too much attention to unwanted things and sorting through unwanted things to give you clarity about what you want in life. Nothing more, nothing less. Doesn't mean you're bad, doesn't mean you're a sinner, doesn't mean you're evil or any bullshit like that. And then your source is right there with you, shining the light on what you actually truly want and guiding you every step of the way to get it. In other words, when you're focused on what you don't like, source does not focus on what you don't like. You're kind of on your own. But source never abandons you because source is always looking at what you actually do want. So you're focused on what you don't want, but what do you actually want? If you are looking at your lack of money, well, what do you actually want? You want a prosper. You want an abundance of money. Where's your source looking? At an abundance of money. So your source has never ever abandoned you, never ever leaves you. It's just source is just looking in always in an unlimited, infinite, abundant way. So mostly your source is guiding you to joy and fun, because that's the real reason we are here, for the joy and fun of creation. And the specifics of what you do down here don't matter. So it's just general love, general fun, general excitement, general joy, and the specifics of how you do that doesn't matter. What's really going on down here is everyone already has a heart. They already have a heart. So back to our fabulous Wizard of Oz analogy. Everyone down here already has a heart, already has a brain, and already has courage. And everyone is already divine and perfect and beautiful and complete and loving and prosperous and awesome, etc. Just like the Tin Man and just like what was the other guys? The Lion Dude and the Scarecrow. And no one is faulty or wrong or bad or sinful in any way whatsoever. And no one needs to prove anything to anyone. No one on any divine level is asking you to prove your worthiness so that you can get in the gates past the bouncers to heaven. What's really going on down here behind the curtain is, you ready? You are an unlimited, eternal, immortal spirit here on a fun physical journey of creation. You're not a physical being here to have a spiritual journey, because everything is spiritual. You're here to have a physical, fun experience, creating what you want. Everything is divine and everything is spiritual. I'll say that again. I'll say it 1,000 times. Everything is divine and everything is spiritual, because nothing is somehow separate from God. Nothing and no one and nothing that anybody does is somehow separate from Source, because nothing is judged. Nothing in the physical world, including all of the hideous crap and all of the despicable behavior that humans do to each other, is somehow less spiritual, or it's lower in vibration for sure, but no less spiritual, because no matter what anybody is doing, it's still God's source spiritually expressing itself in that manner. And your worthiness and immortality has never, ever been in question. And you are the only one who questions your worthiness, not Source. You are the only one in charge of your life, not some God who is allegedly better than you and more powerful than you that you've got to prove your worthiness to. You are not a puppet on God's string, or a puppet on anyone's strings for that matter. And if you believe the religious malarkey that you are God's puppet or God's helpless, powerless child, and you must prove your worthiness and virtuousness and loyalty and dedication to this puppet master, this insecure, jealous bastard of a God, well, you have chosen a perfect way to disconnect yourself from God, because God doesn't want your bloody worship and undying service and loyalty, and God doesn't want you to prove anything to him, her, she, he, it, because God's Source only sees your divine perfection all the time. And if you play that game of, trying to prove your worth to God that doesn't need you to prove anything, it will feel like God has rejected you and abandoned you. And you'll go, why have you left me, God? How come you don't, what the fuck? But God has not rejected you. You rejected God. Because you are God. There is no separation between you and God, and your belief that there is a separation between you and God's Source, and there is a big distance between the goodness of God and your own goodness and divinity creates a self-fulfilling prophecy and creates a separation between you and God that really doesn't even exist. It's only because you're looking at what you don't like and don't want, and Source God is looking at infinity and your immortality and your magnificence. You're looking at how crappy you are. God's only looking at how amazing you are. So you feel disconnected from God. So you're the one that has created all this separation, not God, not Source. But you have the free will to create as much separation as you like by thinking about what you don't like and don't want, and thinking about how unworthy you are, and thinking about how powerless and helpless you are. And that's... dig this, that's how powerful you are. By you thinking about what you don't want, you create powerlessness, even though you're completely powerful. Then your head's going to explode if you think about that too much. So that's how powerful you are. You can create whatever you want. You can create as much goodness as you like or as much crap as you like. It's your choice. And all you have to do to reconnect to the God Source that you truly are is stop being a dork brain. Stop doing crap that creates a separation between you and your own God Source. Stop believing the male bovine excrement that they have taught you, which is directly sabotaging your joy, happiness, well-being, and prosperity. Stop focusing on shit you don't like and don't want, and believing in the lie of assertion that you or anyone is or could be a victim, and we are all somehow powerless and helpless against the countless evil forces out there trying to get us and make our lives miserable and keep us from getting what we want, which is complete bullshit. So stop believing the lie that you are somehow unworthy and you need to prove your worthiness to God and other humans. Stop believing the bullshit that there is some rule book to follow and there's some reward if you get it right. There are no rewards given by anyone or anything outside of you for anything that you do, because nothing you do is judged or as good or bad, and nothing and no one can assert goodness or badness upon you, because there is no such thing as a law of assertion. There is only a law of attraction. Woo! You're the only one that can give yourself a reward. Nobody can assert a reward upon you. You can only attract rewards by being a vibrational match to those good things. And those rewards are whatever you decide to create for yourself based on your vibration and what you're thinking and what you believe. And stop believing in the lies of limitation that there is a limited supply of anything. And start remembering the divine fact that there is an infinite abundance of whatever you desire. And the entire universe will expand to accommodate those desires. Remember the fact that you can be, do, and have anything and everything, absolutely everything that you want, and no divine force can ever stop you from being, doing, and having whatever you want, and no divine force is judging those desires as wrong or bad or immoral or sinful or unreasonable or too hard or impossible or you don't deserve it, etc., fucking etc. There are no limits except the ones that you impose upon yourself, because you are 100% in control of your life and your reality and what you create in your life and reality. And remember that everything is spiritual. All of your physical desires are really spiritual desires. And they are divine in nature. Even your desires to get rich. There's nothing wrong with being completely and insanely rich. It's only our stupid, ignorant judgments about money that keeps everyone poor paupers instead of being rich bitches. So mind your own fucking business and get your nose out of what everyone else is doing with their money and their lives and their relationships and whatever they're doing in the bedroom. Get your nose out of their freaking business and stop comparing your lack of wealth with people who have an abundance of wealth. They are not better or worse than you. They simply have allowed the flow of abundance from the universe to flow to them without stopping that flow with ignorant, limited thinking like the bullshit limited thinking that you've been thinking. Such as, rich people are wrong or bad or crap like that. Struggle is optional and not, I repeat, not mandatory. And struggling to prove your worth proves nothing except that you prefer struggle over ease. So instead, choose ease, because ease of creation is your naturally empowered state of being as an infinite, immortal creator. Ease is your new mantra in life. Joy is your new mantra. Feeling good is your new prime directive. And non-stop fun should be, and really is, your only true divine focus and mission in life. Because you are here on earth only for the joy and fun of creation. No other reason. You're here for the absolute joyful adventure of turning your thoughts and desires into things. And then having fun enjoying those fun things. And then having fun thinking up more fun things to create. And then having fun doing those things that you've created. And while you're doing those things that you've created that you're having so much fun doing, you're thinking up more fun things to do. That's why you're here on planet Earth. No other fucking reason. So you got it? I hope so. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this outrageously amazing, insanely enlightening master key of creation. Why most people struggle in life and how to be happy, healthy, wealthy, and fulfilled and with divine selfishness. And I know you did because it was freaking amazing. And because you did, please share it with your friends. Bless them with these amazing teachings. And remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you'll get notifications of my latest videos. Come visit me at ZaKaiRan.com for tons more self-empowering videos and podcasts and articles and books and products, coaching and support and guidance to help you become a conscious, deliberate creator of reality to create and attract the happiness, health, wealth, abundance, and freedom and the joy that you desire. And also where you can find out how to achieve the financial freedom that you desire easily without having to work for it. Your money, where you can get your money working hard for you rather than you working hard for your money. Because that's how life's supposed to be. Life and money is supposed to be easy. And it can be if you say yes to absolute abundance, and you say yes to ease and yes to fun and more fun and more fun. All right, so my name is ZaKaiRan, and I help success-minded people create the happy, abundant lifestyle you love. Thanks again for watching this vodcast, and I wish you immense joy and abundance on your magnificent journey of divine creation. And remember to make life a holiday. Woohoo!